Another very interesting topic. Let me say the speaker name and from where is he, then I'll tell you the topic. Another interesting one, I'm sure everybody will be awake. So I have Boominathan Sangapillai, who is from Cisco. Please, a big round of applause for him. I welcome him on stage. He is an APAC regional multi-cloud architect. His topic, Skyward bound. Oh, everybody is thinking, what is that to do here? Yes. So in continuation with the topic, navigating the secure cloud transformation journey. So Boomi is a regional cloud architect with solution expertise in Cisco, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform, and VMware. Currently, Boomi is helping Cisco customers and partners with their cloud transformation journey using Cisco solutions in AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud Platform in their cloud transformation journey. As an IT professional with over 14 years of experience and expertise in the field, Boomi has gained extensive knowledge and experience in a wide range of technical as well as business areas. He holds Cisco, AWS, GCP, VMware, Python, and more certifications. So welcome on stage and over to you.
Thank you, Surabhi. It's a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much.
One announcement. Yes. Just one announcement. Anybody needs the car parking coupon, so you can take it from Dr. Niladri. He will be here for the panel discussion. If you need the coupon, please take it from him for car parking. Thank you.
Excuse me. All good, right? Okay. First of all, greetings, everyone. I hope like everyone awake, and thank you for the wonderful session. It makes everyone awake. So my topic is navigating the secure cloud transformation journey. So let me explain why I choose this topic. So every time, right, as part of the DevSecOps, we sit with the developers to understand how do you develop, like a plan, build, test, deploy, those kind of stuff, and stitch into the security wherever you guys are there. Okay, so last time, right, while I'm working with the same customer, the customer's developer team asked me, hey, Boomi, we also wanted to understand the security ecosystem in the cloud, how to start from the beginning to end, in the entire cloud transformation. Then I understand, okay, developers also wanted to see the story, end-to-end story. Okay, that's what this topic is. So from the security architecture point of view, I'm going to explain in a high level from the beginning to the end. Okay, so at any time you can stop me. I want this session to be more engaged way. So to quickly introduce about myself, I'm Boominathan. I'm part of Cisco, leading global architect, nearly like 15 years of experience. I help a lot of large-scale cloud migration. When it comes to cloud, I came to early, meaning like I was one of the founding member of the startup, like 12 years ago. That startup got acquired by few other vendors. Okay, so I'm also like a published author and speaker and cloud. I used to talk in the cloud community events as well. Okay, this is the short introduction about myself. This is my LinkedIn profile. Please feel free to get connected. Okay, so I just wanted to ask a question to you guys. How many of you involved in the cloud transformation journey of your customer? Just raise your hand. Cloud transformation journey, or that could be cloud migration journey, anything. Do you guys involved in this enterprises? Cool. So first let me set the agenda, when it comes to cloud transformation journey, right, what it means, how it happens. So imagine a customer is there, if they want to do like a cloud transformation journey, right? So what is the first step he need to do is, he need to understand why he need a cloud. What is his strategy? Is it considered as, if they're like enterprise customer, they already have like a multiple data center. If they need cloud for another data center, or is it for multi-cloud, or it's a hybrid cloud, or it's a data center migrations, or it's for his new initiative, kind of like a large-scale initiatives, deployment on the AML, or those kind of stuffs. He needs to understand why. That's the first step. Okay, so this is my agenda. I directly started the topic. Okay, that's the first step. Once he understands why he need a cloud, he needs to figure out what are the right applications to be migrated to the cloud and why he needs to migrate. Is it because cost efficiency or performance efficiency or operational excellence? There are like multiple factors out there to figure out why he needs the migration. Once the assessment phase is completed, right? The planning phase is completed. The next step is more on mobilize, meaning planning the migration, right? Like before, when I say like planning the migration, okay, you have decided to migrate from on-premises to cloud. That could be AWS or Azure, GCP or Oracle, whatever it could be. So you need to build your infrastructure in the cloud. That's the important step. That's where like every vendor calls it a landing zone. In the landing zone, there are like 3 steps involved: security, networking, accounting, and also governance. Okay, so once it's done, right, the third step only, the actual migration. So based on the assessment rate, we know what are the right applications to be migrated. Is it like a lift and shift or kind of like a re-platform or re-architect? Everything we decide, that's a major 3. Then start doing the migration. After the migration, is the project completed? No, right? That's where the actual things comes into the picture, because you move to the cloud. And why do you move to the cloud? You have like multiple reasons. You have like your business case document. Is it meet? The next one is optimize the cloud. How do you optimize the cloud? You need to observe the cloud. Okay, all good. So this is how the major cloud any large scale customer cloud transformation journey occurs, right? So maybe I'll ask a question to you guys. Here, where and all security comes into the picture? Is it all or like any 1 or 2 stages? Whoever says all, just raise your hand. Everyone understand that, right? Because security is like one of the pillar that relies in all the phases. That could be planning, because in the planning, right, there are like multiple hyperscalers use like different terms. In AWS example, cloud adoption framework, right? They have like security. In the mobilize phase, what are you doing actually? You are preparing the security VPC. And migration, again, you are doing the security. Operate and optimize with the security. So security doing everything. So after this only, the developers comes into the picture. If it is a greenfield application, they start building the code and deploying the AWS or Azure GCP directly. Or if it is a brownfield application, is it like they know what kind of application. Is it like a SaaS, or they wanted to develop? Accordingly, the access will be provided. So security is one of the pillar that stays from beginning to end. Okay, so it's a mandatory to understand security from the 10,000 feet point of view. That's what I'm going to talk about. Okay, so in the cloud, security is the shared responsibility model. You guys aware? Okay, in the cloud, security is owned by both customer and hyperscaler. Security of the cloud owned by who? Is it hyperscaler or customer? Very good. Security of the cloud is owned by hyperscaler. Security in the cloud is owned by customer. Okay, so that means equal responsibility stays between customer and also the hyperscaler. Okay. So what are the responsibilities of customer? What are the responsibility of AWS? So here I just drafted an example for AWS, but it's common for all the hyperscalers. Also, it also little varies what is the service model you are using. Are you using IaaS or PaaS or SaaS? So in short, customer is responsible for whatever the data he has in the cloud. So where the data stays? The data in the OS in the application in the one of the host around the infrastructure. So if you take from the bottom to top approach, entire thing is customer owned. So hyperscalers around the data center, their services. For example, EC2 patching, their own, not whatever the application we are installing, whatever the services they are providing, it's a hyperscaler responsibility. Okay, so I have explained only two responsibilities, that is security in the cloud and security of the cloud. There is one more hidden thing, which is security to the cloud. Who is owning that security to the cloud? Who is responsible for security to the cloud? Is it customer or partner or hyperscalers? It's customer. Okay, that's a hidden one. Okay, we need to own that as well. So that's where I'm going to explain how a large-scale enterprises approach the 5 key phases approach to achieve the secure cloud transformation: security to the cloud, security in the cloud, and security of the cloud. So they can be confidently executing the digital transformation journey. That's what I'm going to talk about step by step. Okay. So before that, right, you also need to get familiarized with some of the cloud security frameworks and architecture. So let's take an example as AWS. So AWS have like a cloud adoption framework. That's the first step. If you're like any big customers doing any cloud migrations or cloud transformation, right, they do that. The purpose of that, right, to understand the business objective. What is the business objective? What are you trying to do that? How this technology can enable you? Are you looking for the cost optimization, or you want to be like a high reliable? What's your high thing? Based on that, the trade-off will be happen. Then AWS well-architected framework. This is like architecture approach. It's based on like a security, reliability, sustainability, and also operational excellence, cost efficiency, everything will be there. Okay. Once it's done, when it comes to security, you can have like a multiple frameworks. So one of the common one is NIST, cybersecurity framework. And apart from that, you need to check with what are your local laws and regulations. For an example, in Singapore, if any government agency, they have to go with a different channel. Okay, in US, imagine a US, if you are like a banking customer, that's where AWS brings the solution called GovCloud. GovCloud in the US, right? So because they want the data to be owned fully by them. So some of the organization has some kind of like regulations and laws. So they need to abide that. Second is some level of certification and align with any of the framework. If you are in the AWS, align with the AWS well-architected framework. If you are in the Azure, you have like Azure well-architected framework. Okay, and a lot of other things also there. So this is one of the example of the high-level AWS security reference architecture. If you see here, right, the OU is nothing but your organization unit, which is consists of like a multiple accounts. So why are you having like multiple accounts? To reduce the blast radius. Okay, so security starts from the day one itself. That's how you can do the secure cloud transformation journey. Okay, whatever the traffic you are pumping from the internet or from the data center, you should have like a separate placeholder that could be like a separate VPC or separate OU where you do everything, kind of like inspection, do all the steps, then allow to the cloud. This is the traditional approach, right? This is like one of the reference architecture. Same applies for Azure or GCP or Oracle Ali. Okay. Now let's see the 5-step approach. Okay. Before I talk about the 5-step approach, I wanted to hear from you guys because I want this session to be more engaged one. When the customer decides they want to do the cloud transformation, okay, for many business reasons, they decided, what is the first project they do? Imagine the customer already completed the assessment. Okay, they understand, okay, this is my business objective, this is my business case, this is what I'm going to the cloud. And it's CTO approved, CEO approved, CFO approved. It's there in the table, and it's aligned to the proper director team, maybe the cloud director. He got the document. So what is the first project he will do? He needs to connect to the cloud. That's the first one, right? He needs to connect to the cloud. There are, okay, when I say connect to the cloud, right, imagine you come from the house. Your house is considered your data center. So previously, you have all your applications, everything in your house itself. When I say house, it's not inside the house. Imagine you are in HDB or condo, the multiple place. You will be there. You just go to swimming pool. Swimming pool is one of the application. You go to the grocery shop inside the condo, another application. That's how you started doing that. Now, if you wanted to come to here, this MBS, imagine MBS as your cloud. Okay? How do you come? If you want to attend this session, right, what is the first step you need to do? You need to travel, right? So the travel needs to be more secured way. First step is connect to the cloud in a more secured way. So what are the other options there to connect to the cloud? All the hyperscalers provides the traditional way, direct connect, express route, those kind of stuff there. Or VPN, the old way is there. The latest one, what's there? SSE, SASE, those kind of approach, the SD-WAN approach. So let me talk about those phases also. So what is this next step? Okay, you come from the house, that is from your own condo, from your own data center to the cloud. Cloud is your Marina Bay Sands. You reached here. So do you directly come here? You need to have like some kind of a verification, right? Somebody will validate you. Is it really Boominathan? Okay? And Boominathan carries any unwanted stuffs. So that's why like the infrastructure protection. What is this infrastructure protection? Cloud infrastructure protection. Okay? So before you entered, okay, one is internet traffic. You have completed the internet traffic. Second is the infrastructure protection. Okay? So infrastructure protection is where the traditional data center based approach, perimeter defense. The firewall to analyze all the traffic. That could be like inbound or outbound, north, south, all the traffic. It inspect to check who are you and what is your destination. If needed, like reverse proxy you use, whatever that could be. So you use that. That's where the second phase. Okay? So the third phase is the zero trust. What is zero trust? Any answer? The good answer will get like a good book because I have right now 3 books I explicitly asked. Just share your view. Yeah, please. Sure, you won't actually. I'll give the book last. That's perfectly. Zero trust is trust no one, trust no traffic, trust no application. Simple, right? So even though I'm part of a organization X, I cannot have that access to the organization X application. I should go through the proper channel. So previously in VPN, right? So once I checked one box, have an option to access all the applications. In the zero trust, it will be mapped with each application or each role-based access control or policy-based access control or privilege-based access control, whatever it could be. So trust no one, trust no traffic. Okay? For an example that comes from the data center, your own data center, can you trust? No, don't trust. Come from the same person, but if I don't have the code, imagine I come to the event, if I don't have the registered code, the QR scan code, can I come in here? I can show, hey, I'm from Cisco, this is my Cisco badge. Will they allow me? Because trust no one. That's one of the example of zero trust. Okay? So what is the next one? So far we talked about the 3 phases, connecting to the cloud. Okay? Second is securing the cloud via the infrastructure protection. Third is connecting the users, applications, and the things via secure zero trust architecture. What is the fourth one is that's where the developers plays a major role, which is application and data security. This is where DevSecOps, cloud native security, container security, data security, everything, whatever you guys are doing day to day, right? Everything happens. Okay? So you guys are like, when you develop the code, right? You started scanning the image. When you're deploying that image, you started doing that. And code scan, image scanning. And also inside the security, entire CI/CD life cycle. That's why like a DevSecOps. So everything falls under here. This is the 4th phase. Why it is the 4th phase, right? So before this step will come, if you remember, I explained the cloud transformation, the overview, right? This steps comes when the cloud is ready. When the cloud is ready? When you have the access to connect to the cloud and when you have the confident cloud is secured. Then only the developers comes into the picture, either for the greenfield application or brownfield application. Okay? So what is the final step? Final step is XDR, meaning they should know what's happening, visibility, and also how to respond that. So these are like five major steps involved in any secure cloud transformation journey. This is for the developers to understand how the security happens from the beginning to end. Okay, let me explain you this one with the summary slide. Okay, so if you see secure cloud connectivity, which is achieved via SASE or SSE along with SD-WAN. The step 2 is infrastructure protection. So traditionally, firewall will be there. You can have like a reverse proxy, or you can have like whatever it could be. So mostly in the infrastructure protection, north-south traffic will be controlled. You can always imagine cloud as MBS. So who are like doing all the checks while you're coming to the MBS, that's the infrastructure protection. So secure cloud connectivity is how do you come to the MBS? You can drive your own car, that's a direct connect, or you can come to the public transport, that's more kind of like come using the internet, or you can have come like a shared car also, like a Grab share or those kind of things. That's where like a SD-WAN or some of the optimized internet, those kind of stuff there. So while you are coming, you have some kind of identity. That's why like SSC. It needs to, the car does not drop you inside the building. You need to entrance. So that's why like SSC or SD-WAN will do. That will embark your traffic entrance of the cloud. So the infrastructure protection needs to do that. So the step 3 is zero trust, as you know. And step 4 is where you control your east-west traffic. Like more kind of like a north. The infrastructure protection takes care of north-south. This application security, that's where like east-west. Imagine one application is vulnerable. You need to make it isolated. You need to make sure that the application should not be communicated to others. This is the 4th approach. 5th approach is XDR and also observability. Because a lot of times, observability plays a major role. If you can't see what's happening, you can't protect. Do you agree? Yeah, that's why like observability. These are like 5 key phases for any developers to know while you guys like developing any applications to understand how the security happens end to end. Okay. Any questions so far before I move on to the like in-depth topic? All good, right? So let's take an example for AWS how this difference in depth works. Maybe like the same five flow. Okay, if you see in the AWS point of view, right, you see the CloudFront. CloudFront is more kind of like edge and network side, VPC, and application security handled by like multiple services. In this diagram, I just mentioned only the high-level components that resonates with the previous 5 key phases. So as a developer, you know like end-to-end, from the starting to end, and in my early session, I also explained how the cloud transformation works, the 4 phases. So, and you understand like end-to-end, okay? So, from the major services, if you see, WAF, Route F3, Route F53, and CloudFront, all are like happening at the infrastructure protection. So, SASE and SD-WAN, hyperscalers are not doing that. Maybe like vendors like Cisco or some other vendors can help you on that. And when it comes to inside the cloud, hyperscalers also provides security services. That's where they provide some kind of reference architecture, AWS security reference architecture, Azure security reference architecture is there. But it's up to you to design. What is your trade-off? Okay, always there is a trade-off. You want to be more focused on network-centric or centralized architecture or distributed architecture in your secure transformation journey. Once you decided everything on the initial stage, this and all like keep going, and always include the feedback mechanism, feedback loop, which I explained earlier. So keep it going. So like these are like 4 key principles you have to remember when it comes to zero trust. I have like 4 minutes. I was like, I thought like it's almost done. Okay. Never assume trust. Always verify. Enforce least privilege. And focus on use cases. Because what happened, right, in the secure cloud transformation journey, always, traditional approach, they always take, okay, this is the system component in data center. I want to replace the same system component in the cloud. That's not the right approach. If you're doing that, you may fail in your secure cloud transformation journey. You need to focus on the use cases. What is the application need? Is the application focused only on the east-west traffic? Why are you having like a next-generation firewall? If your application is only internet-facing, you don't need a east-west traffic. So those kind of stuffs you need to figure it out during the design. So always create the design based on the application specific, okay? Not the infrastructure specific. And some of the other key principles: implement the strong identity, enable the traceability. Traceability is very important. That's how you know who is accessing the system and what happened. Traceability falls under the logging also. And apply security at all layers. If you remember the previous example, right? From the top to bottom, the security is there. The DDoS protection, the CloudFront, Route 53, WAF, and then VPC, and then, before to the VPC, load balancer, then VPC, and EC2, and your containers. So apply the security end to end, and protect the data in transit and also at rest. And finally, keep people away from the data. What does it mean? Even though you are part of that organization, you are not permitted to access all the data. Keep people away from the data and educate this practice and prepare for the security events. From the morning, right? And Mr. CTO of the CloudBees also explained everything perfectly in the previous session. Design for the failure, meaning more than happens from the customers. The customers trigger the failure events. You trigger, while you're doing the design itself, fail, because one of the popular statement from Amazon CTO is, everything fails. You guys remember, right? So keep the failure designs, always make sure the system is highly reliable, okay? That's where reliability plays an important pillar in your well-architected framework. So that's it, and this is my a final summary. How do you do the secure cloud transformation? First, do your cloud planning. I have not copied the cloud planning here. Once you complete the cloud planning, you focus on connecting the cloud. Because connecting the cloud, that's where the major, because internet is not secure. Everybody worried about that. Then secure the cloud infrastructure. One is secure the internet and access the internet and secure your cloud infrastructure. Then who is accessing the cloud? That's a user. And what is he's accessing? Resources. Do the zero trust between user and the resources. The resources could be application or data or just a basic infrastructure, okay? And fourth step is implement the security, the real people who is using the cloud, which is like developers like you. And finally is operation, prepare for the security events and also provide the visibility, extended threat detection and response. These are like 5 steps involved in any secure cloud transformation. So if any questions, I'm happy to answer. If not, one question already answered. I have a book for you, and I have another 2 questions to ask. Are you guys ready for the question? Okay. What are the 5 steps involved in any secure cloud transformation journey? Just tell me 3. That's fine. Oh, please. Sorry, I did not see. Just please. You want? Application. Okay, 3 is good. Very good. Okay. You also deserve for the book. Appreciate it. And I'll ask another question. Who is owning security of the cloud, and who is owning security in the cloud, and who is owning security to the cloud? Please. Okay, security of the cloud is provider. Perfect. Okay, good. Awesome, good. So maybe I invite all the 3 people to get the books. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhumi. That was an awesome presentation, including your explanation in a very simplified way. Very good. A big round of applause for him. On behalf of Excellentro, I would request Mr. Ritesh Hegre, our previous speaker,